Hello, beautiful humans. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. My name is Jenny. So for practice today, I would like to do a core and restore class. So this is a beautiful mix of building some heat in the body, generating some energy in our core, in our center, and then relaxing into that energy with a restorative practice. So it's a great mix of both yin and yang. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we start to ground. But for practice today, we will want a few props. You are going to want a blanket or two. You can roll these up and use them as cushions, as a substitute for your bolster if you'd like. But you want at least one blanket. A bolster, a couch cushion, a stack of pillows, something to give you a little more support. And you'll also want a block or two. You could substitute books or something of similar firmness and similar size. You want one or two of those for when we get into our restore part. So take some time to gather those things, get creative around the house. And when you're ready, we'll just jump right into it. So we'll start in a nice, comfortable seated position. And take your time to get there. I like to sit up on a prop. I've got tighter hips, so that helps me to tilt the pelvis forward so that I can sit up nice and tall, find that length in the spine. As you feel ready, get any wiggles out. Set yourself up. Legs could be crossed, they could be extended. You could bend the knees, draw them in towards the chest, whatever works for you here. Just find a position that you could ground and take a few deep breaths here. So as you feel ready, you're welcome to close the eyes or take them to a soft gaze. And just start to open up the senses. Start to tune into the world around you. Starting to feel oriented with your space. I live in a big city, so I get all the noises from outside. You may have similar noises, potential distractions in your external environment, and just allow yourself to acknowledge them and let them be a part of the process. And then starting to turn your awareness inward. And starting to notice your breath. Without changing it at first, just start to notice the inhale and the exhale. You may have naturally started to find a little more depth to your breath, taking us back to our natural state of breathing. If you've ever watched a newborn breathe, they breathe with their full belly. So let's kick in some of that. Starting to draw the breath in and out of the nose and directing it all the way down into the belly. Now, I know anatomically we can't actually breathe into our belly, but the idea here is to press the belly out, which creates space for the diaphragm to lower and creates more space for the lungs to fully expand. And then on the exhale, we draw the belly in, which brings a lift of the pelvic floor and the diaphragm, helping to press air out. So we're taking these deep belly breaths, letting the belly press out on the inhale, and draw in on the exhale. Drawing the breath in and out of the nose, and you're welcome to find an activation of the muscles in the back of the throat, finding ujjayi breathing. These are the same muscles that fire up when you're fogging up a window or a mirror, that kind of sound, but you're doing it with the mouth closed, jaw relaxed, and creating that oceanic sound with the breath as it passes in and out of the nose. Starting to use the breath to check in with the body, check in with the mind, check in with your energetic levels, your emotional state. Just check in, acknowledge, receive, and allow. Continue to breathe, continue to connect. And one reason I wanted to do a core and restore class is to kind of play with this duality that we're all experiencing right now. And in the core part, we'll be building up some heat, really tuning into that fire in our belly, really building some strength resonating from our center. And that can represent the yang part of us, the part, that fire within us that right now wants to be out and doing things and making money and doing our jobs and just being able to be out and about without feeling like we're doing something wrong. So a lot of us might be battling with this energy of just wanting to get out and not feel so trapped. So acknowledge that aspect of you, acknowledge that energy in you. That fire, that heat that pushes us forward. It keeps us active and keeps us going. And then we'll counter that with our restore practice, getting more into the yin side of things. And allowing this to be the part of us that is a little more introverted, that is okay slowing down and mellowing out. And some of us may be dealing with an extreme amount of this energy of feeling lethargic, feeling lazy. I know some days I can't even be bothered to change out of my pajamas. So we've got these two energies within us, this yin and yang, or yang, this hot and cold. And we want to find balance between those energies, between our introvert and our extrovert, between our masculine and feminine. And we want to find that balance. And so that is my intention with this practice today, is to tune in to both of those energies and to find a cohesive marriage of the two. A few more deep rounds of breath. As you feel ready, release the arms down alongside the body. We'll take an inhale to send the arms out to the side, raise them up towards the sky. On an exhale, release the right hand down, reach the left fingertips up and over, arch it over to one side. Inhale, come back up through center, both arms reach up. Exhale, release the left hand down towards the ground, arch it over towards the right. Awesome work. And then flow through here. Inhale, up through center, arms could reach up or out. Exhale, arch it over towards the right. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, arch it to the left. Awesome work. A few more rounds here, finding your flow, your breath. Keeping the sits bones grounded, finding a nice stretch to the side bodies. Awesome work. One more to each side. And we'll come back through center, reaching both arms out to the side. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, just start to twist over towards the right. Arms stay extended, open up across the chest. Inhale, back through center. And exhale, twist over towards the left. And inhale, back through center. And repeat here. So we're keeping the arms extended so that we're not tempted to use the arms as leverage. We're not tempted to crank ourselves over into twists. We're just finding this nice opening across the chest, noticing that I'm leading with that shoulder as it opens up. Gaze could even start to come over that shoulder. Hips are nice and squared, giving us that squared base for our twist. Awesome work. One more to each side. Awesome work. We'll come back towards center. Release the hands down. They can catch the thighs or the knees. And we'll take some torso circles. So like you're scooping peanut butter out of a jar. Just moving through the torso. Now the shoulders are staying raised. We're not dropping the shoulders down. But we're just circling through the torso. Now we'll be repeating some of these circular motions today. All right, then reverse direction of those circles. Really connecting to your center, connecting to that powerhouse. Awesome work. Come back through neutral. Go ahead and remove any props that you may be sitting on. We're going to come into an extended pike pose. So we're going to extend the legs out, or seated pike pose. Extend the legs out, flex the toes back. You can keep a bend in the knees, especially if you have tighter hamstrings or tight low back. Find a solid connection down to the sits bones, lengthen up through the crown of the head. We're going to release the arms out into zombie arms, and we're going to lie ourselves back keeping the spine straight for as long as possible. If you want, you can release the hands back behind you to help you. They can also walk down the legs for support. But we want to keep that nice straight spine, so inhale to lengthen, draw belly in, hug ribs in, core is engaged. Exhale, slowly start to lay it back, keeping that spine straight for as long as you can. It's okay if you start to shake. It's okay if you rock back, if you fall back. When you have to, start to round out in the low back. Nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Again, embrace that shake. Nice and slow, taking it all the way down to the ground. When you get there, send the arms overhead, stretch out through the legs. Nice big good morning stretch. Awesome work. Then we'll draw the knees in towards the chest. They could come in one at a time or simultaneously. Hands come to the outsides or tops of the knees. Maybe some rocking side to side or circles through the knees. All right, when you're ready, we're going to bring the knees in line with the hips. Now this does take some core strength, and maybe you're still building that up. So it's okay if the knees are still more in towards the chest. We don't want them all the way in, but it's all right if you're anywhere between here, and eventually maybe you'll get there. Flex the toes, shins parallel to the ground. Find a length in the spine. We're going to interlace the hands behind the head, open up through the elbows, chin lifts up towards the sky. Inhale, raise the head, neck, and shoulders up. And exhale, lower down. Just a nice, simple sit-up. Inhale, raise it up. Exhale, lower down. Check in with your form. We're drawing belly down, ribs hug in. And the elbows are staying open, chin lifting. You can easily fake this by bringing the elbows in, crunching through the neck, kind of making it look like you're doing a sit-up. But we really want to use intention here. So we're lifting the head, the chin, more up towards the ceiling than we are curling in. We're raising the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Elbows stay open, chin is lifting. Awesome work. Few more here. Nice and simple. Draw that belly down as the ribs hug in as you raise up. And slowly lower down. Last one. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Awesome work. This round we'll inhale, lift, and we'll hold here. And as we hold, we'll bring in a little oblique work. So we're either going to just bring the right elbow across the body towards the left knee, or extend the fingers out. And then inhale back through center, head and neck stay raised. Exhale, left elbow, right knee, or left hand reaches out towards the right side, and back through center, and we'll speed that up. Inhale to center, exhale, twist. Now again, you can fake it here, but we don't want that. We want to really engage in the obliques here. Again, you could bring the elbows together. You could easily just fake the cross. But we really want to work those obliques. So keep the elbows open. Keep the chest open, even as the elbows or hand comes across the body. Awesome work. A few more here. One more each side. Awesome work. Release the head and shoulders, release the feet. Bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, let the knees drop open. Now if you have any pain in the low back here, one thing that you could do is bring a little puffing up of the chest, a little extra arch in the back, or you can tuck the tailbone down, flattening out through the low back. You could also slide blocks underneath the knees if you want a little support here. Or for a little extra, you can raise the feet up as we bring this into our sit-ups. So once again, we're going to interlace the hands behind the head, elbows open, chin lifting. Inhale to raise the head, neck, and shoulders up. Hands can either stay supporting the neck or they could release down. We're just going to pulse here. Link the breath to the movements. Doesn't have to be a quick breath, but it could. Draw that belly down, ribs hugging in. And again, for that little extra, you can raise the feet. Awesome work. A few more rounds here. Feel that heat building up in the body. All right, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay raised. Either the hands will come out towards the knees, or again, hands behind the head, cradling the head out, offering support. We're working the obliques. Head, neck, and shoulders are lifted. We're exhaling to crunch to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, crunch to the left. Inhale through center. Again, hands behind the head or reaching down. Again, you could fake it, but we want the most out of this time that we're dedicating. So really work those obliques. You also have that option to raise the feet here. Stay in tune with the neck. If the hands are released and this starts to feel strenuous in the neck, bring the hands for support. Awesome. 2 more to each side. Last round. Awesome work. Come back through center. Release the head and neck down. Hands come to the thighs and press the knees together. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Release the low back. How are you feeling that core? Awesome work. All right, now we're going to take a little rocking horse up and down the length of the spine. Really round out so you get a nice massage here. So you want to tuck the chin in towards the chest, roll the shoulders out, and get a nice little spinal massage. This can also be a little core workout, playing with the balance as you come up onto the sits bones. But it's okay if a toe or two touch. Awesome work. And we'll use this to transition to plank pose. Fun little way to do that. Rock up, cross the ankles, plant the hands, hopper step to your plank pose. If that transition doesn't work for you, find one that does. Awesome work. So we'll spread out through the hands. Really press the ground away, lift through the back of the heart, lengthen out through the crown of the head, root back through the heels. You can also lower the knees down to find a half plank here. Awesome. Draw that belly in, ribs hug in, and the whole front side of the body is lifting to meet the back. Awesome work. Now we're going to do either knee taps or knee raises. So if you're up in plank pose, you're going to tap the right, lift, tap the left, lift. Or if you're down in your half plank, you're going to raise one knee at a time. Awesome work. Try to do it without shimming too much through the hips. Awesome, you got this. Find that strength. All right, one more each side. Tap the right, tap the left. And we're coming all the way down on the belly on an exhale. Awesome work. Point the toes, Press into the tops of the feet. And we'll send the arms out overhead. Awesome work. We're gonna bring a little swimming here. So we'll start with the head down towards the ground. We'll inhale to just start to raise the right arm, left leg up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, left arm, right leg up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. Let's speed it up. All right, and we're going double time for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down, nice neutral spine. You could turn onto either cheek or bring the hands to frame the head and rest the head on the knuckles. Little shimmy through the hips might feel good here. Awesome work. And for counter stretch, we'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows draw together. We're coming out the way we came in, so on an exhale, we're pressing the ground away, coming up through plank or half plank. If you're in full plank, lower the knees, send the hips all the way back, find a child's pose. Find your breath. Awesome work. A few more deep rounds of breath here. On an inhale, come back up and find either your half plank or your full plank. Awesome. Again, connect here. Find that connection to the hands. Middle knuckles root down. Press the ground away. Lengthen out through the crown of the head. Tailbone slightly tucking down. Rooting down through the heels or through the knees if the knees are down. All right, stay in plank or for a little more. We're going to bring the right knee to right elbow and kick it back. Left knee, left elbow, and kick it back. You can take this from half plank with the knees lowered or full plank and working those obliques. And remember to breathe. Awesome work. One more to each side. Excellent. Lower all the way down to the belly. Fantastic work. Point the toes. Extend the arms overhead once again. All right, we'll do another 10 count of those high-speed swimmers, and then we're going to hold with both arms and both legs extended. So here we go, starting with right arm, left leg. Seven, 8, 9, 10, and lift and hold. Awesome work. Just come up as high as feels okay. Legs are engaged. We're pointing through the toes, firing up through the legs. Hips are grounded. Arms are lifting. Shoulders wrapping onto the back. One more deep inhale and exhale. Release it all down. Turn on to either cheek. Again, frame the head with the hands. Little shimmy through the hips. Awesome work. Feel free to let a sigh out of the mouth at any time. When you're ready, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows drop together, prop the toes, lengthen through the spine, engage in core, exhale, press the ground away. Coming up through your plank pose. One deep round of breath here. And exhale, lift the hips, come towards a downward dog. Awesome work. Feel free to pedal through the feet. All right, and we're gonna look up at the hands and we're gonna travel the feet forward. So maybe you take a few steps, and maybe you take one big step, maybe you take a big hop. We'll inhale to find a half lift and pause here. Lengthen out through the spine. Just like where we've got this nice Long spine extending out through the crown of the head, out through the tailbone. Belly draws in and up. Shoulder blades wrap onto the back. Tops of shoulders drop down. Awesome work. Hands can come to the shins or to the thighs. Elbows drawing in together. Awesome work. If you want a little bit more, release the arms. Maybe they come out to the side. Maybe they come biceps by the ears. Really building the strength in the core without gravity pressing us down. One more deep inhale and exhale. Release it all down, forward fold. Take a few rounds of breath here. You could pedal through the feet. You could grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Awesome work. Release the elbows if you were holding on. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, fold in. Now this time we're going to bend the knees super deep. The feet could either be together, they could be hip distance. All right, bend the knees, send the hips back, and then find that length in the spine. So it looks like a chair pose, but the chest is hovering on the thighs, maybe even the belly touching the thighs. Arms could come to hips, they could extend out, or they could come biceps by the ears. So we're in this low chair with a hovering chest. Awesome work. Try to send the hips back as you lengthen. Beautiful work. All right, on an inhale, we'll raise the chest, and maybe you come up a little higher out of your chair pose. But we still got the knees bent, sending the hips back, trying to bring the knees in line with the ankles. Got this nice straight spine. We're maybe working with a little back bending here. Now hands can come to the hips, then come to prayer. They can extend overhead. We're just gonna bring in some of that circling again, this time through the hips. So just nice and slow. Might feel a little funky. I've started incorporating these spiraling movements in my practice, and it has opened up my low back a lot. All right, and reverse the direction of the circles. Filling those legs, working that core. Awesome work. On your next inhale, come back through neutral, reaching up towards the sky, and exhale, dive it forward, forward fold. Awesome work. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Send the arms out to the side, raise up towards the sky. And exhale, prayer hands down to heart center. Beautiful work. Catch your breath. Take a few rounds of breath here, connecting to center, connecting to core. Awesome work. Inhale, scoop the arms up towards the sky. Hands are gonna interlace. Pointer finger points up. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, arch it over towards the right. From the strength in the obliques, inhale back through center. Exhale, arch it to the left. Inhale through center, take a few more rounds here. If it doesn't feel good to have the hands interlaced, they could release. You could also bring in that full movement of the arms, like we had seated. Don't just throw the body around, but really use the strength in those obliques. All right. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, dive it forward, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold it in, plant the hands on the ground, hop or step back to plank pose. Fantastic work. All right, got another little plank series for you. When you're ready, we'll once again bring the right knee to right elbow. We're gonna hold here, kick the heel towards the glute, and then we're gonna bring the right knee over towards the left elbow, and then bring it back. So there's a little tick-tock action here. Don't just throw the leg around, but really move with intention. This can be done with that knee down. A little more cross action here. Awesome work. Last one on this side. And come back to plank. Left knee, left elbow, heel towards the glute, shin stays parallel to the ground, and then shifts over towards the right. Embrace the shake. I'm feeling it. I got that sweat going. I'm right here with you. Awesome work. One more. Re-extend through the legs. Lift the hips. Downward dog. Awesome work. Catch your breath. Feel free to pedal through the feet. Shake the head out. Awesome work. From here, we're gonna step or jump it through to boat pose. I can't jump, but there we go. So coming in to boat. So just find a seat, extend through the legs. Lots of options to explore here. The feet could come on the ground. You could raise one leg at a time. Both feet could raise. Hands could be behind the knees, back behind you, or extending out. Awesome work. We want to find that lift in the chest. Flex the toes back. Awesome work. Now if you want a little more, we'll extend the left leg out, tap, and raise it back up. Extend the right leg out, tap the heel, bring it back in. Awesome work. Take that 2 more times each side. Last one. Beautiful work. All right, now from here, we're gonna go into low boat and back up. So we're gonna lower down and come back up. 5 of these. And last one. All right, awesome work. Come up to a seat, bring the bottoms of the feet to touch knees, drop open. And take a nice cobbler's pose. You're welcome to just hang out here with the knees dropping open or bow it forward. Awesome work. Got through the hard part. Now the fun stuff. Well, it's all fun, but. All right, let's get into the restore part. So, you are going to want to bring your bolster, your rolled up blanket. You could use a foam roller, a rolled up yoga mat, whatever it is. But we want to take it across the mat. And we're going to get some nice oblique stretching here, since we've been doing some work with the obliques. So we want to drape the right waist over that bolster. And the right arm could extend out. You could rest the head on the bicep. You could release it all the way to the ground. You could bring a blanket, a pillow, a block in for the head. But we want to get this lift in the waist so that we get this nice arch, nice side stretch, both sides of the body. The left arm could reach overhead. You could even grab the left wrist with the right hand. And the knees could draw in towards the chest. They could extend out, they could stagger. But you want to try to have the hips squared. So try not to twist through the hips, but either having the legs extended or knees bent. And enjoy this stretch. Starting to get into the yin part of the practice, starting to cool things down after building up that heat, that fire, tapping into that energy, that extroverted part of us that wants to be out and about, constantly doing things. Now we're allowing ourselves to settle into the cooling energy of our restore practice. Finding that balance, that harmony between the two. few more rounds of breath here. If you'd like, for this last little bit, you could take a little quad stretch, kicking the left heel into the left hand. Beautiful. Awesome work. As you feel ready, we're just gonna flip it over to the other side. So your choice if you wanna just roll over to the left side, or if you want to press your way back up, you can just flip to the other side so that I don't put my back to you. I'll just move the bolster. All right, so when you're ready, setting it up on this side. So again, we want our lift, whatever it is that you're using to support yourself, to hit at the left side of the waist. So we drape our bodies over, getting this beautiful side stretch on both sides of the body. Again, you could rest the bicep or the head on the bicep on a blanket or a pillow. Right arm could come up and over, getting that full extended side stretch. And again, we want the hips to be squared, so either stack the knees and draw them in, or extend out through the legs. Getting that nice full side stretch here. As we start to transition from the yang to the yin, from that hot to the cool, stay connected, stay aware of what's going on in the mind. Notice if the mind starts to wander. Sometimes when we start to slow the body down, the mind doesn't have the distraction of the movements of the body to keep it occupied. So it will start to put the body on autopilot when it feels like it can. So the mind can start to wander into other things, back into the past or projecting into the future. And this practice is all about presence, about awareness, mindfulness of the present moment. So just stay in tune, a few more rounds of breath here. As you feel ready, so we're going to this time flip onto the back. So you want to gradually make your way up and out of that pose, but we're going to keep the bolster there. So we've worked some side stretching, a little stretch for the obliques. Now we're going to do a little back bending, get a stretch for the front side of the core. And supported back bending, so nothing crazy here. But we're gonna bring the bolster or cushion, rolled up blanket, whatever it is that you've got, still lengthwise if it has a length. And then we're going to lay it back, and we want it still to hit at about the waist, just the back of the waist, so that we get this lift, sending the back over and dropping the head down. Now you could find a lift in the chin, opening through the throat, find more of a supported fish pose. If this doesn't feel awesome in the head or in the neck, then you could bring in a blanket or a block or something to support the head, but leave some space for the shoulders to drop back and down, so that we're getting this nice stretch through the front side of the core, as well as working with a little back bending here for some spinal health. And allow yourself to just open up to this. Arms could be in goalposts or out into a T. But finding this opening across the chest, across the heart. Nice stretch for the shoulders. If this is a little too intense with the legs extended out, you could also bend the knees, planting the feet a little wider than hip distance and let the knees drop in on themselves. can tune into the breath, tune into the mind. Allow everything that's going on right now to be a part of your experience, to be in your awareness. But then the trick is to detach from any outcome, from any response, to simply be, which is where we find that peace, that harmony. When we stop resisting the flow, stop trying to swim upstream, and start to find our own flow. A few more rounds of breath here. Now, as you feel ready to come out, we want to offer the neck some support. So we want to bring the hands back behind the head. Use the hands to lift the head up to neutral, and then your choice, you can engage in the core and do a full sit-up. Or you could lift the head to neutral, roll onto one side, and then come back up. So we've stretched both sides. We've stretched the front side of the core. Let's get the back side of the core. So staying with this kind of around the world spinal stretch, this time we're going to come down onto the belly and we're going to have that lift. And this time we want it to hit not at the waist but lower, kind of at the low belly and on the hips. We don't want the bolster too much on the belly because that's not going to feel awesome to lie directly on the belly. And we don't want it too far down on the thighs because that's going to tilt the pelvis and bring some compression in the low back. So what we're looking is to find that sweet spot where you get a lift of the hips and a release in the low back as you lower the chest and head down. And again, your choice if you want to turn onto either cheek, if you want to frame the head with the hands and bring the forehead onto the knuckles. You could also lie on a blanket or a pillow. Arms could be out into goalposts, out into T's. They could come alongside the body, whatever feels right for you. But again, really tune in here because we don't want, like I said, we don't want this so low that the booty's up in the air and our low back is compressing. And we don't want it so high up that we're laying right on the belly and it's hard to breathe, it's hard to talk, it's not very comfy. So we want that nice little sweet spot right in between, where it's got a little support of the hips, support of the sacrum, and a nice release through the low back. So if there's pain in the low back, you may need to readjust, or maybe not have quite so much of a cushion, maybe not so much of a lift, maybe you just fold up a smaller blanket. Few more rounds of breath here. As you feel ready, we'll slowly start to plant the hands, press ourselves up, and we'll come to a tabletop pose. So hands and knees. We'll bring the knees underneath the hips, wrists can be underneath the shoulders, or walk them forward. And find that length in the spine. Draw the belly in, lift through the back of the heart. And this is a really active tabletop. So we're pressing into the hands, pressing into the feet, lengthening out through the crown of the head, out through the tailbone, Lots of activity here without losing this engagement. We'll move through some cat-cow. So inhaling to tilt the pelvis up, the belly lowers down, but we're not dropping in. So we're moving with that engagement, lengthening through the tailbone, heart shines forward, gaze lifts. And then we're exhaling to round out, drawing that belly in and up as we tuck in through the chin, tuck in through the tail. Awesome work. Take a few more rounds here. Opening up through the front side of the body in cow. Opening up through the back side of the body in cat. All while lengthening through the spine, out through the crown of the head, out through the tailbone, even as you're working through this spinal flexion. Beautiful work. And then next time you find yourself rounding out into cat pose, pause here. And then we'll take some torso circles to again stretch through the ribs, through the obliques. So we'll start to send the ribs out towards the right, circling them down and around. Out towards the left as we circle back up through our cat. So take a few more rounds here in this direction. You're welcome to bend the elbows, really exaggerate that movement if you'd like. Or maybe you're working with small, subtle circles. When you're ready, reverse the direction, sending the ribs out towards the left, and then dropping them down and around through cow, circling them to the right as they lift up and over into cat. Excellent work. When you're ready, we'll circle back through neutral and we'll take a child's pose. So your choice, you're welcome to take it without any props. The knees could stay in line with the hips as you send the hips back. Or you could take the knees out wide, big toes to touch, and send the hips back. Ways that you can use props to support you. You could slide the bolster or your cushion in between the legs for some support of the sits bones, maybe the torso. As you lower down, you could lower down onto the hands, onto a block or a blanket. You could also create a little lounge chair. A little more gentle option here. You could also place a prop overhead to raise the hands up and lower down, creating more space for opening through the chest and shoulders. So your choice, however you want to take your child's pose. Arms can be doing whatever feels right. Maybe reaching out, palms turned up or turned down. They could reach back behind you. Reaching back for the heels. They could come out alongside the body. Few more rounds of breath here. Beautiful work. And as you feel ready, slowly starting to make your way up and out of your child's pose. Go ahead and move any props off to the side. We'll come back into our seat, have some space back behind you to lie back. And just like we did at the beginning, lengthening up through the crown of the head, nice long spine, legs extended out, toes flexed back. We're going to take a forward fold here. Again, if you have tight knees or tight hamstrings or tight low back, you can bend the knees. You could slide a blanket or even a bolster or a cushion underneath. No one says you have to have locked out knees to do a forward fold or to even touch your toes. So when you're ready, inhale nice and tall. Maybe the arms reach up. And exhale, we'll dive it forward. Releasing the arms, releasing the head all the way down. Awesome work. Other ways that you could use props to support you here. If you want some support for the head and release through the neck and shoulders, you could place a configuration of props on the legs so that as you lower down, you can release through the head and neck. You can get creative with that configuration. What we don't want is to force anything. So really feel into the body and maybe just come to like a level 6 or 7. Maybe not even come 100% of your flexibility. Maybe just feel into that. Feel the little subtleties. Notice where you're feeling the stretch. A few more rounds of breath here. As you feel ready, nice and slow, walk the hands back, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Take your time, coming up to a seat. Inhale to draw the shoulders up towards the ears, and exhale, let it go. 2 more. Inhale, shoulders up by the ears, and exhale, let it all go. Last one. Inhale, lift, and exhale, let it all go. Awesome work. We'll start to set up our Shavasana, but if there are any other final movements or stretches that your body's craving, anything that you would like to explore, take some time to round out your practice with anything the body's craving. And then as you feel ready, we'll start to set up our Shavasana, or our final relaxation pose. You're welcome to take traditional Shavasana, lying on the back, palms turned up, toes turned out. Since we do have props with us, we can utilize those. Props are your friend. You could slide bolster, cushion, anything underneath the knees for support. You could wrap yourself up in a blanket. You could use the blanket as a pillow. There's a little neck support. And if lying on the back doesn't feel awesome, lie on the side, lie on the belly. You can come to a seated meditation. Take as much time as you'd like to really wrap up your practice, and then start to settle in to Shavasana. And wherever you find yourself, I invite you to open up through the palms, turn the palms up, and close the eyes. And if you haven't already been playing music, it's kind of nice to put on some mellow, ambient, really nice, peaceful music for Shavasana, so feel free to turn those on. And then with the palms turned up, bring some awareness to the right palm, the right hand. And hold in that hand that fire, that extroverted energy that wants to go and do and produce and create. That part of us that wants so badly to reach out and connect. That part of us that wants to be able to go outside and do the things that we love with the people that we love without fear or shame. Hold all of that fire, all of that energy, knowing that it is good when within balance. Hold that part of you. And then bring your awareness to your left palm. Hold in that palm the yin energy, the introverted, that part of us that knows that life doesn't always have to be go, 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 do, do, do. This energy that allows us to slow down, to find peace. And knowing that that energy is good within balance. A part of us that wants to hide out from the world. A part of us that may even secretly like a little bit of isolation. Now I'd like you to bring both hands together, interlace through the fingers, and rest the hands either on the belly or on the heart. Finding that marriage of these energies, that balance of duality. And knowing that that is part of our quest right now. Part of what the universal consciousness is being tested on is this ability to take our normal societal energy of go, do, produce, consume, and our soul's energy of slowing down and taking time and finding that marriage, that balance. Giving yourself permission to feel both energies. Maybe to extremes on one day, but always knowing that we can come back to that balance. If you can, dedicate at least 5 minutes, anywhere up to 15 minutes for your Shavasana. Please pause the video and take as much time as you can gift yourself in this moment. And as you feel ready, gently start to bring some movement back to the body. And gently start to rock onto one side of the body if you're not already there. Pause for a moment in a nurturing pose, offering yourself gratitude for carving out this time, for allowing yourself to be human, to feel both and. And as you feel ready, gently start to make your way back up to a comfortable seat. I'll invite you to bring the hands to heart center or take any other meaningful gesture with the hands. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this practice helps. Feel free to like and subscribe and share and all of those amazing things to help spread this message of love and community. And yes, I miss you all. I see you, I honor you, and I bow to you. Namaste.